Hey guys, it's Simplex2 here, and today, or tonight, because it's about to be, we are going to be doing a collection update. A video that I have not produced in about maybe 3 to 4 years ago. I think the last time I remember doing a collection video was in 2020. I think November of 2020, so 3 years. Anyway, so, yeah, currently we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 areas of weather radios to cover, and, I haven't counted how many radios I have. That's how many I have, help. Yeah, also I'll probably do some channel updates. So, let's start. We're going to start with this guy, the Accurite 08560. I'm not going to list the dates I got these radios because I do not remember. But, nice radio. Had it for a while. Now we're moving on to my version 15 HH54. You'd be led to believe that it's off because you can't really see the screen, but it's on. The backlight's just off. And right next to it is my version 16 HH54 VP2 with this. Yeah, it has antenna cap disease. I'm gonna have to get that fixed. Or, yeah, I'll get it fixed. And then my HH50, which I think it's dead? Is it? No, it's not. Huh. Oh, I just have it turned off because I don't want to waste battery. And my 211679. I don't know why this one's off. This one's off for a reason because I cannot find an adapter for it. A. Oh, and B. I cannot find a plug for it. So, yeah, that's basically there for show. It turn it on occasionally. Also, the siren's quiet as fuck, so, yeah. This one was purchased before this one. They both have different sirens. Both are pretty good radios. Yeah, now we're gonna move on to this, the Radio Shack 12254. Pretty good radio. I actually like this a lot, despite the, except for the fact that the battery life on this thing, not the best. Well, actually, it's good battery life, but, the fact that you can't plug it into a DC jack. Same with that, but, what can you do? They're portable. And one of the more forgotten radios, my CC Pocket, made by C-Crane. Oh, the battery's going low. The battery life on this thing is amazing, by the way. The Ord siren is, and then, pretty rare radio, my 12257. The vibrator on this thing is busted, which is like the unique feature that I said like 5 times. Jesus Christ. Anyway, yeah, the vibrator on this thing's busted, so that's the only unique feature of this radio, so it's just another handheld. But it has a nice unique siren similar to the 12254. Oh yeah, and my RA1603A, which I'm one of the only people to have it, surprisingly, probably because it costs a lot of money. I don't know why I bought it. Anyway, now moving on to the Recoms, the 3 Recoms. Here's my R1630A with a high-low switch back there. Did an unboxing video of this thing a while ago. It's a good radio. The tuners on the A model Recoms especially are really wonky. If you have them set on the same channel, it'll make a very weird noise, and it interferes with some other radios too. Or maybe there's a specific radio causing it, I have no idea. Here is my R1650A, which doesn't have a high-low switch, but doesn't have a volume setting, so it's got that going for it. This has a worse tuner than that one, but both have equally bad tuners. The faceplate's a bit yelled on this, and it has, because I didn't buy it new. Oh. And here is my R1630 A, or sorry, not A, C, which is plugged into my HomeSafe strobe. Oh, wait, there we go. What the? It only flashes, what? Batteries must be going on it. Yeah, the batteries are going on it. We'll have to replace that in a sec, or soon. I probably won't replace it for a while, because when I say soon, don't know. Anyway, here is my next radio, my 12991 white logo. It's showing its 10-day century, because all my radios were shut off for a very long time, because I was gone. A good radio. Looks like a Viagra pill, or any pill, because not just Viagra. Here is my first alert, WX67, running on a rechargeable 9-volt battery. This is a very nice radio. I really like it because it's just basic, it's got a cool sounding siren, and it's rechargeable. So that means if I unplug it, it'll run forever, and then if I plug it back in, the batteries will recharge. I don't have to replace the batteries at all on this thing. So I love that feature. I wish more radios had rechargeable batteries. And also, the invalid beep on this thing is cancerous, though. Oh yeah, I forgot this thing has alert history. Wow. Anyway, next is my first alert, WX167, which I have made crash very, very much. Well, wait, no, that doesn't make sense. I've made it crash like at least 10, 15 times just for the fun of it. But it's a good radio, but it has its flaws. Like, if you try to self-activate it with an FM transmitter, it keeps saying unrecognized alert. There's probably something that I'm forgetting in the EAS encoder, or that's something that it's just not detecting, but I have no idea why it doesn't work with self-activation, but it actually works with real activation. And also, this thing just tends to falsely activate a lot, and yeah, and also, this has the capability to have rechargeable batteries, but I mean, actually, I should show you, just to show you how bad this thing is inside the battery. Like, it has Energizer rechargeables, but the contacts on this thing are like super rusted, and also the batteries just tend to fall out easily. So the rechargeable batteries just don't work. I've tried fixing it lots of times, but it just does not want to. It does not want to fix. This video is going to be at least like 40 minutes long. God help me. Anyway, let's move on. This is my Midland WR30, which I like a lot. Kind of like the WX67, except it doesn't have rechargeable batteries, but it's cool. It's rare too. I like that I got the WR30, and it has the test beep and better same technology. The menu on this thing's easy to use, and I like that it has this search feature. Also, yeah, it has lots of. I noticed this thing has like, it's similar to C and D model Recoms and WX67s, and where their button beep, the invalid button beep is very similar to this, or the invalid button beep on this is very similar to that. And lots of features on this are similar to the Recom. Like the siren. This thing's loud, by the way. Moving on to this area on the shelf. I have my AlertWorks EAR10WH, which has been with me practically forever. And it's modified with the blue backlight, which I love a lot. I want to get another one of these so I can have one that's unmodified. Originally, I messed up this cover for the lights, and I tried, because my dumbass thought it was a good idea. Oh, the replacement LED didn't work, so I'm gonna paint this green. So yeah, so I had to use that EAR10 over there. Has the old light cover from this, and so the lights on those are really weird. Anyway, yeah, it's got a green advisory light, orange watch light, red warning light. All the lights on this thing have been replaced. And here is my black alert off engraved AlertWorks EAR10. I bought this basically just as an excuse to have more EAR10s because I think they're cool and they sound nice. And yeah, EAR10 Legion Forever. It's pretty clean. It's in very good condition. I'm going to not do anything with this because it's engraved, and also, I don't feel like it. And here is my Emerson CKW 2000, which I bought on eBay. Oh, God. This thing has been with me since late 2020, October 2020. And, boy, it stood the test of time. I got this on eBay for $37. These things are super rare now, so I'm happy that I got it then. Yeah, it's got AM, FM, everything. It's cool. I love it. And now onto my other alert off EAR10. Don't really have anything to say about this. It's just an alert off EAR10. Okay, moving down here, we have my Capello CR2W. Yep, CR2W. Originally, I had a Max Digital, and it went off for like one alert, and the batteries just wore out on it. Like the batteries, while it was playing the alert, the batteries died, so the radio just died. And then I couldn't get it really to activate, and I think there was firmware corruption, and it just stopped powering on. So I just threw it in the trash. But this is a good radio. It's a more forgotten one, but yeah. So it's a good radio. Anyway, moving on to my Radio Shack 12249. Basically, well, actually, the 12250 is a 12249, but better. It's based. I think this is actually one of, if not the first, same radios to ever be made or manufactured. It doesn't have EOM detection. It doesn't have alert blocking, but it's cool. I like that it has like a reddish backlight. That's nice. It looks interesting. On to my Radio Shack 12262, which was actually given to me by my cousin. And this is an 08262. Sunday. The tuner still works on it, which I'm very happy about. I don't want that to die. I went through another 262, which I unfortunately smashed. But yeah, I wanted a 12521 on Amazon, but I bought a 262. When it arrived, it was a 262, and the tuner died on it. So yeah, good radio, classic radio in lots of collections. I've had this for probably 3 years, 2 years, 2 years, 1 year, 1 or 2 years, I forgot. On to my Radio Shack 12521, the later or latest model, the 04B12, which means that the tuner on this is practically invincible. Oh wow, wait, hold on, the sirens are, I gotta turn on all my radios again, but yeah, it's a great radio. I like that this thing has day and night volume, even though I'm never gonna use that. It's just a good feature for it to have. But the menu is a bit less intuitive than this. Oh my god, we're already at 13. Anyway, this shelf is complete. Cool. Now on to my desk. Wow, a lot of radios here, huh? No shit. Let's start over here. My Radio Shack Pro 136. It's basically a Uniden. It's basically a Uniden Pro 136. It was made for Radio Shack, but it's by Uniden because it has Uniden tones and it has a Uniden type interface. This looks like it was from a BC345 or 365 CRS. Actually, speaking of 365 CRS and 345 CRS, here's a BC370 CRS. Completely unrelated to both two models that I just listed. Anyway, this is a great radio because it has AM/FM activation, which I have not utilized in a very long time, but it's just cool and it's loud, so it has that going for it. Now, on to the First Alert WX200. Oops. I'll get to you later. It's got a removable antenna, which is really the only difference, and more ports on the back. But it was basically an impulse buy because I was like, oh my god, WX200, it's rare! So yeah. On to my latest edition, the Oregon Scientific WR106. Despite popular opinion, this is actually a pretty good radio. People think it's super shitty, but I mean, I guess it looks really weird and it's got that goofy antenna, but it's not that bad. The siren on this thing is loud as hell. If you watch the short, my latest short, you'll see it. Probably not the latest for some, well, my latest short as of now. Anyway, on to my WR400, which was my third radio? Yeah, third weather radio ever. So, yeah, I love it. It's a good radio. It's served me very well. The first alert this thing activated for was a tornado watch. And a year later, it activated for another tornado watch. That was the first alert on this thing, too. And this thing, Capello, but that was March of last year, not February 6th. Anyway, now on to the cows. My Uniden BC148XLT -1, because it's got that display. Basic cow, nothing real to say about it. Here's the BC148XLT, the regular one, with a digital display, and the different siren, which is less digital. All these have different pitches and sirens. Yeah, and then the BC17ACLT, which is probably the least seen in some collections out of the three, but it has a slightly higher pitched siren than this. So, yeah. And now on to these two. My Redicus TR625. I think, from what I know, I was the first person in the United States to buy a Redicus TR625. But I don't want to boast. I was the first EAS enthusiast in the US. But yeah, so far it hasn't had any issues, I don't think. It's a goofy weather radio. And yeah, it's goofy, but it's good. It's a very good radio for a startup company like Redicus to produce. So yeah, apart from some firmware issues, but it'll probably get ironed out eventually. I hope Redicus actually starts making more weather radios. Anyway, on to the Midland WR120, which was surprisingly not my first weather radio. It was my second weather radio, which was bought at a Walmart. So, yeah, it's the basic Midland WR120. Oh, well, actually, there's also, oh, wow. That glue stick must have really helped, because the faceplate used to fall off on this thing. So, On to my Radio Shack Pro 163. This was actually not made by Radio Shack. It was made by a company called Grecom, and I will get to a actual Grecom radio later, and I'll show you that it was they were Radio Shack scanners were not made by Radio Shack themselves. In fact, Radio Shack radios, most I think if not all Radio Shack weather radios were not made by Radio Shack. They were made by another company. But the main Radio Shack weather radios, I do not know who made those. It could very well be realistic. This could be really be made by realistic technicians, because I mean, hey, could be. I don't know. Anyway, my Radio Shack 12522. Love this handheld. I think this is better than the HH. It's got some software bugs and issues, and the tuner's a bit wonky, but this is the A11 model, so it's got the better tuner. I had one previously, but it died. Oof. And here is surprisingly the ship box of my collection, the Sangean CL100, which is currently saying November 62nd, 2031, and I have had multiple software issues lately, but it's a good radio. I don't know why it's starting to have software bugs now, but it is. Poor Sangean. Hope you feel better. Anyway, Here's my Accurite 08510 next to my Accurite weather station, which is pretty cool. But yeah, it's got an interesting siren. I love the 60 frame screen on it. If I can, is there a way I can scrolling rate? Yeah, scrolling rate. Is there not? Really? Okay, well, I'm not gonna mess with that. But yeah, it's got a cool scroll and an interesting siren. Sad that they don't make these anymore, because this is the only Accurite radio except the 08560 that has a loud and actual working siren. On to up here, my Solar Crank CR1009 Pro, which is basically a Roxicus CR1015. By the way, I have one of those. I don't know where it went, but for people wondering, oh, is the battery dead on this? No, it's not. This is what the CR1009 Pro siren sounds like. It's basically a CR1015, but or I guess some people would say a sped up G-Storm. Anyway, it has multi-channel monitoring, I think, but it's I think it actually does. And I forgot to mention this one. Here's my Solar Crank CR1009 Pro, goofy yellow thing, and here is my Midland WR11. Which is a nice AM/FM radio, which I got for a decent price. That wasn't $100, so yeah, nice. Probably getting no reception because it's right next to my computer. Anyway, here is a very obscure weather radio that is not owned by lots of people. The Raleigh Storm Alert 7500. That's all I know. It is very, very similar to a Vector VEC136, but it has like slightly different firmware, a slightly different screen, if you notice that, and also, these obviously has a different speaker and a different body and all that stuff, and it doesn't have a giant ass TV. But these two both have the same siren. Actually, yeah. So I don't know why I said actually. Here's the DC thing. I think this had rechargeable batteries. So that's cool. This is a good camping radio. Sad thing is, when I unboxed it, I busted the hand crank, which is sad. I don't want to, but if I feel like it, I might open this thing up and try to replace it, or try to fix the gears, because I think I stripped the gears. But that'll be hard to do. Anyway, here's the giant ass TV. This is a gigantic weather radio. Oh my god. But yeah, my Vector, it's not a VEC, well, it is a VEC136, but the actual correct model number for this is the WC300DSV. It's got the giant CRT TV, which I can actually turn on. Hold on. There it is. Since analog TV is now banned in the United States, that is obsolete, but I have tested it, and I plugged it into a VCR, put a VHS tape on it, since VCRs actually omit a small analog TV frequency. If you put an antenna, a BNC antenna into it, or a coaxial antenna, this will pick it up if you set it to channel 2, I think, channel 2 or channel 4. Anyway, we're going to move on to the Lung, or the Springfield radio. I have no idea why I got this. It's kind of shitty. It has an incandescent flashlight, or, I think it is incandescent, but, not the best. Not the best weather radio at all. Don't get it. Alrighty. Wow, I cleared my desk. That is very surprising. So, yeah, did I forget anything? No, I mean, here's some battery packs for my 211679s. But, excuse me as I drink some water. And we move on. Where do we go? Let's move on. Let's go to the, let's go to this shelf. Alright. We're going to start off, actually, you know what? We'll start off back. So here is my Radio Shack Pro 405, basic Pro 405. Here's my Whistler WS1025. It's actually not a direct clone of the Pro 405 because this is a modified version of the. It has more channels. It's its Radio Shack counterpart is the Pro 650, so it's actually different. So yeah, I don't know why my camera's having a reflection of the. I'll have to figure that out. Huh, that's interesting. Anyway, wait, is it? Huh. Yeah, I'll have to figure that out. Anyway, yeah, so that's not similar. It's not the same as this. It has different programming, I think. And here's the Grecom radio I was talking about. The Grecom PSR 200U. The PSR 200U was the originator for the Pro 405 and the WS1025. Despite popular opinion, well, I don't know about popular opinion, but Radio Shack scanners aren't Radio Shack scanners. They're not made by Radio Shack. They're made by Grecom, or GRE for short. This actually has different programming in terms of, like, you have to press function WX instead of alert on this, and obviously the button labels are different. Function WX and alert, they get you to weather alert, sorry. Anyway, these are all basically the same. They all have the same siren. I just bought them because they were cool. Anyway, my 12258. This can be plugged into a computer. You'll have to look that up. You need like a CD and everything. Don't know if you can do that. Also, you need Windows XP. Anyway, good radio. Had this for a while, since 2021. Loud siren. Basically a 255 a thermometer and other stuff. I don't know. Now on to the good stuff. Here is my Radio Shack 12519. Good radio. It's having and inline tuner fade. The tuner is just being wonky as fuck because that's what 519s do when they get old. I got this new in box, which was really cool. And now, on to the crown jewel of everything, my Radio Shack 12996, which has gone lots of places, done lots of things, been in lots of videos. I love this radio so much because it has a touchscreen, and it's basically, this is like the traditional radio in my collection. I go to this for AM/FM alerts, just a great radio and all. This is Radio Shack's last same weather alert radio. Or I think it actually, somebody will probably correct me in the comments, but I think it was either this or the 993. But great radio, I love it. You should get this if you want. I don't know, they're very expensive. All right, moving on. In front of two original iPhones, an iPhone 2G and an iPhone 3G. My Radio Shack 1226105 or A05 or 2005. I don't know. That's non-statement. It's a great radio. I've had this as long as I have had this. I also take this in a lot of places, and it's stood the test of time.
1 p.m.
Tuner still works because it's a 2005 model, and it didn't go into the period where Radio Shack made god-awful tuners. 382s. They're in there. Anyway, yeah. I haven't set the clock on this. And moving on to its older brother, the 2003 261. By the way, I got this new box. Yeah, I've wanted one of these radios for a very long time. Because test beep and statement light. Because that's the one feature that everybody wants, a statement light. Anyway, yeah. So, now moving on to this shelf. The big shelf. This is my main shelf for a very long time. I think this is my main shelf. This or this is my main shelf now. I think this, because that's what my camera is pointed to. Let's see, where should we start? Let's start with this, my 74200. Oh, yeah, and my Gentex SHG is standing, it's just up there, my 1992 model. I don't have another one, but this thing tends to crash a lot. It's quiet. Well, it's actually not quiet, but it's on KAC 38. And yeah, it's just a big, flat, square, brick-like radio. Anyway, on to the Zone Guards, my Zone Guard Plus. Zone Guard Plus. Where the alert, there's one alert module right here. There's another alert module right over there. If you didn't see, it's right next to my WR11. Can be a bit annoying. Yeah. And then here is my Zone Guard, my regular one, which I got late 2020. I mean, yeah, they're both good radios. Now on to the more forgotten radios, my two WR100s, my WR100 version 3. Wait, what the? Oh, they're off. Let's turn these on real quick. So, yeah, it's got, obviously, the monitor text. It has a recom antenna, because I have no idea why I did that. But, it works. And, yeah, it's just a normal WR100. And then here's my WR100 version 5, which I think is actually better than the V3, because this actually has the no message glitch. And also, it just is louder, has better programming, and also has a better speaker. And anyway, yeah, as you can tell, it's much louder. And it's got the fat antenna. This would have the fat antenna. But yeah, basic V5. The tuner is not dead, which I'm very happy about. And, well, probably because the serial on this thing didn't go into the range where they died. But anyway, yeah, basic WR100s. I don't really mess with these. They're going to probably stay here forever. Unless I get a V2, then I'm going to have to move one of these. Anyway, onto the Radio Shack, or onto some more Radio Shack. My 12250, which I got from my, my now old school, because I'm in high school now. So, yeah. So, this has been in service for at least, 30 years? So, yeah, and okay, well, it's getting bad reception, but this thing still works, and it's in surprisingly good condition. And I traded this for my school for a WR120, because that's what every school needs, because it's just a basic weather radio that you can buy. But it's just great. It's actually, yeah, it's a very nice weather radio. I love this thing. It's a stud. It's just like the WX67. And it shares a lot of common features with this, but this is worse than that. So, I said so 10 times, don't know why. But, yeah, great radio. I think every collection should have this one. I recommend, 100%. Okay, on to my 251, which is a recent addition. I don't know, how the hell do I turn it on? Wow, we're only at 30 minutes. Yeah, goofy weather radio, I guess. But, yeah. Oh, I have the volume turned down.
Listening area for the follow.
But yeah, this is like the only, probably the one of, or if not the only, no, I think there's like 3 other same radios that don't have a screen. But yeah. The button beep sounds interesting. Now on to the WR300s. Here is the first weather radio I ever got, which was bought by my family and was in service as an actual weather radio, similar to my Radio Shack 12250. My WR300 version 5. This is having some issues. It does not want to activate on voice mode for some reason. I don't know why, so it's on tone mode. It's on KC38. The tuner's not dead, which I'm very happy about. It's, it's a good radio for being in service for 10 years and seeing lots of weather alerts, like stuff like Hurricane Irma. It's been through Yeah, it's been through like 4 hurricanes. More than that. Yeah, like Irma. Matthew didn't hit us. Irma. Hermine actually skirted us. Ian. Ian being the most recent. Ada. Nicole, which was like 1 alert. And then Nicole just died. So, it's seen more than those hurricanes. Those are just the ones that I remember the most. Now, onto my WR300 version 8. Yeah, it's got the 74-200 button beeps and the menu lag. And, yeah, it's more, it's different. It doesn't have the text down here. But, yeah. Now on to my WR300 version 1. Huge thanks to Kid Alex for giving me this radio. I don't know why he was selling it off, but it's very nice. I love it. It's you know, version 1, so you have the rarity. Let's see, we gotta... Anyway, yeah, great radio, because it's rare. That's why every collector has it. And thanks again, Kit, a lot. He's not, I don't think he's in the EAS community anymore, but sad. Anyway, on to my ER radios. This is my version 1 ER10 VP, and you might be wondering why the hell are all of these off? Because the battery lives on these are complete shit, and you can't plug them into an AC port, so yeah, that's sad. But I have the batteries out. Well, I have 2 batteries, 2 or I think it was 2, yeah. 2 batteries in, and 1 battery out, so these are off, and then if there's a weather event or a test that I want to turn these on for, put those in. Anyway, here's my version 2. There's an obvious difference, and next. Here's my other version 2. The reason why I have 2 is because I bought this thinking that the listing was going to be a version 1. Because it said, well, yeah, I thought it was going to be a version 1, but it wasn't, and it was another version 2. So that's why I have 3 ER10 VPs, and I obviously eventually got a version 1. Also, what the fuck is this thing? Why the fuck is this thing 3 stars? What? This thing is not 3 stars. I just, no, it's not 3 stars, okay? Don't price hike this thing because people think it's 3 stars. It's not. Please don't. Anyway, on to my ER50, which was gifted to be my road safety. I love this radio a lot. I take this everywhere if I go camping because it's just a generally nice radio. It's got the wrist strap. It's got the the antenna, and the solar panel. Sorry. Yeah, there's a few. Hold on. I gotta get my focus. Okay, it's not gonna focus. Anyway, it has a few scratches and dings and stuff, but that's expected. Thanks again to Rastashi for buying this for me. And very loyal friend. On to my ER210, which has been with me for a while as well. I got this at a Dick's Sporting Goods, I think is very funny. And I think this is the earlier version of the ER210. Anyway, yeah, I've replaced the antenna on this because the antennas on these things tend to be absolute shit. Now onto my ER310, and this thing has a busted antenna, which I want to replace. And I've said that lots of times, but I would take this thing camping, but busted antenna. I've actually tested the dog whistle on my dog. It works. They move. They're like, what the hell is going on? Because it's up super high pitched. They're high pitched enough to the point where we can't hear it, but dogs can. Anyway, yeah. ER radios. On to my Etons over here. My FR600 second header radio. Yeah. It's cool. It tends to falsely activate sometimes. Well, that's not ghost activating, like incorrectly go off for an alert. But yeah, it's nice radio. I wish I had the RDS version so much. I wish. East Melbourne, you do. Anyway, here is my Sidekick, or FRX5 BT. it's a Sidekick because the FRX5BT is different. Had this for a while. I've taken this camping. It's a very nice radio. I like it. I've said that lots of times because I like a lot of these weather radios except for a few. Anyway, here is my FR370 American Red Cross edition. Similar to this, but it has the third header activation and a different type of siren. Also, this is shortwave. I've never used that before. On to my dual FR1s. So, short story here. I bought this because I wanted a FR1 that, or well, actually, I used to have, this is not the FR1 that I've had for a very long time, because basically what happened is I cranked my other Red Cross FR1 too fast, and it, like, busted it. It busted it completely, which sucks, but oh well, it happens. Should not have happened. Anyway, yeah, so I bought this, because that's the first one I saw, and I think it was cheap. And then I bought this recently. So now I have two FR1s. Now on to the Midland Siren radios. Boy, these are cool. Federal Qs. First one that I got was the 74105 XL, which has, yeah, it's nice. And then I think the next one I got was the 102, and then the 105, which has a Pepsi engraving on it, which is very weird, but it does. The 105, also the siren on this thing, oh my god, it's so high pitched. Listen to this. Okay. Funny. Anyway, but yeah. I think it's so high pitched. My god. I wish more collections had these. This is basically the difference between the 105 and the 105 XL. This thing has 3 channels. This has 7. And the tuning dial is different. So yeah. And then here's my 105. Funny, because usually people, if they get any of these, they get the 105, not the 105 XL or the 102 or the 109. But I'm surprised I didn't get this sooner. But yeah, the button contacts are a bit weird. You have to push harder on the buttons than you do on any of these. But oh well. Now, wow, we actually finished the shelf. We're almost done, guys. We're almost there. Actually, before we go over there, here's my box oh shits. Basically all the radios that I either don't use, don't like, or are completely broken, like my Magnavox AJ3450. It works sometimes and it doesn't work other times, so I feel like I feel it is a waste of space. And here's my FRX3. Doesn't have, I was like, oh, it doesn't have a siren, so go away. Here's my FR400, which was actually my family's, but it's not the best, and I can't find it. Well, I would find an adapter for it, but I don't want to. I just don't feel like it. Here's that FR1 I was talking about, all taken apart. There's a front of a 12260, and then a lot of fire alarms in here too. The Gentex GMS, back box for a P2RK. Oh yeah, that's a thing of a Genesis. EST Genesis has terrible build quality. Oh my god. Oh yeah, and some ceiling fan blades. Oh yeah, here's a back of a 12260. Here's a 12260 motherboard. Demco 6150, CH70, RSS, trim plate for that Genesis. Target bag. Yeah, there's all the random shit that I have. Oh yeah, here's this Eton shortwave radio that I have not used in a very long time. Oh yeah, here's this Vixen handbrake siren that that you saw, if you guys did watch it. My New Year's video, I cranked this thing up. That was loud. And my C2000. Here is a video of my fire alarm system. I was going to make a whole big reveal of it, but I never got around to it. And also, this thing is a pain in the ass to work on, and I just lost, faith in it. And I'm like, I don't want to work on it anymore. So yeah, My MT is there. The SHG used to be up there, but I put that up, and I didn't have the time to put the screws in it. The detector isn't even properly wired yet. See, the wires haven't been stripped yet, but the wire has been fed through. Anyway, let's not get distracted. Oh yeah, also, ceiling fan on the floor. It actually works, but I'm not gonna test it right now. By the way, if any of you ceiling fan geeks are watching my channel, this is an Emerson Designer series, and this is another Emerson Designer series. This thing's a bit biffed. Anyway, I think that actually was in my room before the haiku went up. Anyway, I said anyway twice. Here is my closet. Basically, where all the forgotten radios go. Well, not really. Here is my 12093. Good radio. 1050 hertz radio with an alarm clock, basically. Kind of like the Optimus. We'll get to you later. Anyway, here's my WR10. Goofy. Siren siren is interesting. Basically the Midland M. But next is my realistic 12140. Super low pitch siren. Oh yeah, I modified it.
Tuesday night.
That's KEC 38. This is not supposed to be on 162.45 megahertz. It only does because 162.45 didn't exist in 1988. Anyway, here's my Weather Alert TA35, another recent addition to my collection. Interesting little radio.
Thursday.
I don't know why, but I get very good reception in this location. Probably because there's not enough radios to cause RF interference. And, I don't know, just location. Anyway, yeah, interesting, cool radio, actually. It's overlooked. People don't tend to get this for their collections. And then the Radio Shack 12240 in my 247. I want to get an OG 247 because I think the sirens sound cool on those. Anyway, here's the EAR10 that I was talking about. As you can see, this is also from my EAR10WH. This plastic glass-like cover, acrylic. I don't know what this is. Anyway, yeah, it's kind of biffed. The lights are fucked up. This is the one that doesn't have a Lord off, so it's technically more rare, but this is the first black EAR10 that I got out of the three. And now on to YouTube first weather radio that I purchased. The Optimus CR307, a interesting clock radio. It sounds like basically every 90s Weather Alert clock radio. It has the, I can test the siren actually. Is this it? Yeah. Nope. 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 Is this it? Yep. Yeah. Sounds like a GE Weather Alert, an Emerson EWR 850, a 121627, WX37, it's common siren. Anyway, next, my 12153, interesting radio. So, regarding those videos where I was like, the 12153 go burr dot insert video format here, I know why it wasn't a software glitch or anything. Well, this thing doesn't have software because it's from 1988, or 1984, sorry. It's got, the reason why is because this alarm switch was flipped on. That was the alarm clock. Interesting alarm clock. Moo. Anyway, I think that was it. Before I go, I'm going to do a count of all these radios. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, technically, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, and, oh yeah, these are all my boxes, by the way, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, nice. 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88. 88 radios total in service. Also, there's one arriving, which is a Weather Alert TA45. And you'll get to know what that is later. Basically, it's a TA35 with 7 channels, which is rarer than the TA35, I think. Anyway, here's some more weather radio boxes and an old headset. Fire extinguisher. This is basically just a room door at this point. But, yeah. I think these are all the weather radios that I own. 88, Jesus Christ. Yeah, and these are all my boxes. But I've gone a very long way from when I first got my WR300. And, oh yeah, here's this thing, which was given to me by my cousin. Thanks, cousin. It's also this thing, it's a WeatherX. Has a television. Anyway, we're gonna end off the video here. This has been Simplex 2 with a weather radio collection video. Adios.